Alright, so you can see I've got the other braid attached. Both braids are looking good. I didn't get him turned as far as I wanted, but he looks pretty good. He's down, and the way it's slanted, he's going to be looking over there in that direction. Okay, so now the only thing left for all this is to do the texture on the hair back here. There's that little plug that I put on there that's been carved in, so that's taken care of. So anyway, set that up there. Now what we're going to do is the original hair things I put up there, we got to tie those in to the braid. And then we just make you some marks here to indicate where the next hairline goes, and then just tie them in. It's okay if they run into each other. That's just the way hair goes. Okay, like that there. Get your knife. Just make you a cut there. See how I tied that one in? Try to do it in, just at one time, and that way you don't end up with a lot of recuts. Maybe I just coined a new phrase there. Now this one, you have to be pretty careful up here where the grain comes up straight, because if you're not, you're going to chip something off, break something off, so be real careful. There, we got that one. We'll bring this one down, just tie it into that long one. I just went on the wrong one, didn't I? And remember to slant your cut. You don't want to go straight into the head. You just want to go in at an angle. Let her come down. Start this way. See, that's what happens when you go straight in. So it's best not to do that. Doesn't look good. That looks a lot better. And just continue on keeping your distance between the two. It'll get kind of crumbly down here. So just do the best you can. See, I'm having trouble here too. It just takes a while. I have to manipulate this thing constantly around. Okay, so you got all that done. Now, let's see. That one, and there's one more here. This one, can you see that? Hmm?
I don't know what I'm looking at. Okay. No.
Anyway. Well, that's not very sharp. I'm going to go sharpen this one a little. Buffed it a little. Made all the difference in the world. When you're doing this, be careful of those braids. And you can see it creates a nice hair pattern. There's one I skipped right there. See there? Looks nice. You want to keep this and this up here pretty much the same. Looks the same. That's the important thing, okay? So now that I've showed you that, I'm going to go ahead and do this other side, and you don't need to see that. Okay, I've got the other side done. Both sides are done. They're looking pretty good. Now the last step to this is kind of, you want to kind of tie these haircuts into that center line to where they look like they're going up, pulled apart, not just run straight into it, if you understand what I'm trying to say. You'll see here in a minute. At least I hope you do. See how this one just cuts right in there like that? Well, you want to take that chip out of there about like that. Now it looks like it's running up that center hairline. Let me make it just a little bit more plain here. There, see how it goes like that? That's what you're after. These little things, you know what, a lot of people wouldn't do it, but you owe it to your carving to go ahead and make it as good as you can. It's just important, I think. No sense spending so much time on something, giving up at the last part of it. Now I'm doing this, and half of it is going to be covered up by the feathers when we put them on there, but that's all right. That's okay. All right, so we got that done. All right, next part is burning the features on the face. All right. When I went over and polished this up to where it cuts a lot better, I also did my tool here. Now see the tip that I have on there? That's, of all the tips I've ever used, that's the best one. Okay, and 8 is too hot. Let's start about 6.5. Excuse me. Come up here, and that's pretty hot too. It's hot right now because I just sharpened it. There, it's starting to slow down a little. You see, I made a double line there. I'm going to come back and cut that off, clean it up, because I don't want that. But what I'm doing is where there's color separations, I want to make sure that it's all done. So where the hair meets the neck, and a nice burn line there. Okay. Now on the back here, I'm just re-emphasizing where that hair goes together. And at the same time, it's cleaning out that joint where everything comes together. Save you the trouble of trying to clean it out yourself. See there how it's knitted together now? That's what you want. Down here, where the braid meets the wrap, you want to just emphasize that a little. And we'll come around the braid here. There's a tag in there, get rid of that. Epoxy doesn't burn so well, but I'll go ahead and try to make a burn in here, and hopefully it'll clean most of that off if there's any fuzz and stuff there when I run it through the flap sander here at the last part of the Okay, so she's pretty hot, so I'm going to turn it down. That's pretty good. We'll start right up here. Just a little bit, not a lot. You don't want a dark, heavy line, because that would just ruin your carving if you do it too much. See how I let it bleed out? That's all you need. I don't want any lines up here. And go back and fix your mistakes. I don't need any of his nose there. Okay, so now, next thing is to take it over and do the face. Flap sand the face and the hair. Okay, so we'll go do that. All right, we're over here at the flap sander. So this is how you do it. Put your thumb on that nose. This is very important, because if you don't, this is going to catch most of the flap sandpaper as it goes around, and you're going to end up with a smoothed out nose, and that's going to not look very good. So I put my thumb on the end of it, and if your thumb hits this, it's not going to hurt it. Okay, so we're going to do this very lightly. And real quick, go over that nose. Smooth that hair. That's all there is to it. You can see where the sander hit that. And as it did that, it cleaned everything up. Took away any handling dirt off your hands and things like that, which is what you want. So, okay, we'll head back over. Okay, I got my two feathers here. I've painted them with a coat of white. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to carve a couple of little slits. I'm going to put on my glove. The other day I was fiddling around here and I bumped into the tip of that blade there, and I cut myself right on the end of this finger, you know. I really feel sorry for diabetics that have to punch their finger, because it hurts. I felt like an idiot. Here I've got this cut on the end of my finger. That's probably the first cut I've had in ages. These little cuts like this, you know, this little chip I'm taking out here, they just make your feather look better, more realistic. And it just takes a little bit. You don't go overboard. And don't do it the same on each feather. You want a little variation. But you want to keep your cut in line with your paint strokes so it looks natural. Make sure you chip that off to where it's rounded, not coming out like that. Okay? Put one more on here. That's good. Now, comes the fun part. Let's see here, I think that's the way I did it right there, like that. Of positioning the feather. You want to get these things to match up to where they don't look real thick in this joint. It is thicker than a feather would be in real life, but we can approximate it as close as we can. But we want some separation between the feathers here. Not like that, not like that. We want them just about like that, right in that area. We want our quills to come out equally. Just holding that there. Got some super glue here. I'm just going to put a little drop in there like that. Got me some accelerant here. Spray that on there. Wait just a second. Okay. Now that that's set up, we can go ahead and put some more glue in there to where these things will never come apart again. They are locked. Locked and loaded. Alrighty. Now, I've got to go get me a couple nails. I'll be right back. Alright, we got our feathers here stuck together. What I'm going to do now is drill right down through there. Just like that. And I said a couple of nails, but you really only need one. Just make sure that that fits down in there like that. I'm going to reorient that hole just a little. Work. Okay. So now, see, that's about right where we want it, and we want it to hit the middle part where the braids come together, just like that. So holding that in place. Give that guy a headache. Put our nail in there like that. And actually go deeper. Could go deeper, but I'm not going to risk coming out the other side, so I'll just nip off some in here. There we go. taking my chisel here. I'm going to make a little gouge right there. Sort of a countersink that nail to where the head don't stick up above the feathers, okay? And again with the super glue. Put a little drop on that. Like that. Spray that. Super glue is a miraculous thing. Those things are locked together forever. So let's just get rid of this super glue before I glue myself together. And believe me, I've done that before a few times. Once I had to cut my fingers apart. Now let's take a look. Whoa, it's starting to look like an Indian. Looking good. Now it's just a matter of position. Well, we're not going to do it now, but all we have to do after we get the feathers painted is move them around a bit. I like it about like that because this will really show off this braid here. Okay? All right, so now let me think of what's next. Oh, I know what's next. We're going to do a little shell, circular shell design like this one here, or this one over here. Okay? That'll add a lot to it, so I'll be right back. I've got me a little piece of scrap here from my cutoff box. So what I'm going to do is just draw me a little circle here about the size of the shell that I have up there. And then with a gouge, put on my gloves, well, boy, it's better to do this with a big piece of wood than a little piece of wood. You don't run the risk of jabbing yourself. With the chisel. Just about like that right there. Just to, what would that be? Concave, convex. And then take it over to the saw and saw it off about that thin. Alright. Okay, so there's my little piece now. So what I'm going to do now, first to figuring out where that grain is, it's running up and down that way. Just whittle this out. Whittle. Carve this out. Look at just to alert to everybody, I'm going to have a very exciting end to this project once that Indian's painted and everything. real gently get rid of my saw marks. Now it don't have to be perfectly round, but it's probably best that it's not perfectly round. It looks good to me. So I'm going to take it down just a little bit more. Don't want to look it too thick. Chip out there naturally. Okay, that's going to go right up here. All right. So what I'm going to do now is mark the center of it. Find me a nail. I guess that'll work. That's not right. Oh, there's my drill. Too many drills around here. Come on. Excuse me. Take his head off here for a minute. I don't want this going up, bumping into his bottom of his chin. That's about it right there, I think. Looking good, looking good. So we'll take that off. And we'll put a little drop of glue right there. in behind there. That's set up. That accelerant sets that glue off immediately. See, it's nice and solid now. And we'll put that on there just like that. And we'll put that on there just like that. I'm going to stop a second and see how much time we got left on our video.